Hey, it's Justin here again from JKR Pro Reptiles. Wanted to give you a part 2 of the Pro Tips video on Flexwatt. And the reason I wanted to do it is because some of you guys left some great comments and questions down below this video, and I wanted to answer them specifically. I got them right here. And yeah, there's stuff that is critical to know when you're wiring your own racks and working with your own animals, and I want to make sure I cover those. So, first thing is, someone wants to know, can you wire up multiple strands of heat tape to a single thermostat? And the answer is sometimes. Basically, if you're doing multiple strands, you want your heat tape to be all the same. This is a 6-watt, 3-inch heat tape, and you can put multiple strands of this into the same thermostat. What you don't want to do is combine a 6-watt heat tape with a 10-watt, say, because they're going to have different temperatures, and one thermostat cannot accurately control both of them. But yeah, if you're using all the same kind, 6-watt, 3-inch, or all 10-watt, whatever, you can plug in 50 feet or 100 feet or however much you need to into your thermostat to make it work. So that's fine. It's going to measure the one and then run all the others off there. I typically like to keep it just to a couple because you don't want to have so many strands attached to it that either it makes your thermostat fail because it's overloaded, or if one individual strand was to fail, or if your connection on the end to come off or something, you don't want that to go cold, and your thermostat has no idea because the probe is not attached to that individual level. I hope I'm not being too complicated there, but basically the answer is yes. Make sure it's the same kind of Flexwatt. Next question: how do I get Flexwatt to hold down? Do I use foil tape? And the answer is yes. That's what I use, is foil tape. And this is a tape that is used for HVAC, so it's real good with temperature changes, and it conducts the temperature well. And it's also super sticky. It's not going to pull off real easily. So just to give you an idea there of what it's going to take, and I'll usually tape down the leading edge of the heat tape, for example here. Okay, this is the leading edge, and the tub coming from the front of your rack will slide over like that. And so you really don't always need to tape down the back part. You can. That's great. That's fine. But that leading edge is the part that's most likely to get caught on something. So that works great. The other part of it is taping down your probe for your thermostat. For this, I also use the heat tape. Not the heat tape, the foil tape. Small piece here. I'm going to put it basically right across the heating elements of the Flexwatt and tape it down really good. Really, when you're using Flexwatt, the very worst thing that can happen to you is for your thermostat to fail if you have a real low quality thermostat, or for your probe to get pulled off of your heat tape. You want to make sure it's really, really well fixed down, because if this probe comes off, the thermostat thinks that the Flexwatt has gone cold, and it'll bump it up to 100% power and overheat your animals potentially while it's trying to get that probe up to temperature, which is just hanging in the wind. So what you want to do is make sure that's really well taped down. Next question is a great question. Where do I put my probe? Can I put it inside a tub? Yes. The issue with putting your probe directly on the heat tape is that there's going to be some temperature loss between the heat tape and the bottom of your tub where your animal sits. So say this is I have a rack, and this is a hatchling tub. You can set your heat tape for 90 degrees, but it's likely going to be 3 degrees less. It'll be like 87, 86 on the bottom of this tub itself. And so there's two ways to go about that. You can either turn your thermostat up several degrees to compensate for it. So if you put it for 94 here, it's going to be 90 inside the tub, and that works great. Another way that I like to do it, that somebody once showed me, it's a great idea, is to take the bottom of a tub, just like the one you're using, be a broken one or whatever, and cut a small piece. And this piece of tape is too small for it, but essentially affix your probe on top of a small piece of tub, and so you are simulating the same transfer of heat from the Flexwatt to the inside of the tub. And then you can go ahead and set your thermostat back at 90, and you know that's going to be 90 inside the tub that's right next to it. So that's a great solution. too. And again, just tape it down this entire thing with the foil tape. All right, next question. Wanting to know about heat cable. Heat cable is something that vision racks use, and that it's used a lot for a lot of different things, and it's really just as good as Flexwatt. The only downside to it is that it has about the same thickness as this probe here, and it heats. It's a very safe product. The issue is that your tub is not going to slide right over it automatically. You're going to have to router it into your wood, or somehow have some notches where it can sit below your tub as it slides over. And vision racks have heat cable. And they do a good job with it, and it works great for them. So it's not a bad idea at all. One more thing I want to talk about before we end this video is thermostats. Last week I showed you a Herpstat, which is my favorite. This is a Helix. Really the only difference is between those are both proportional thermostats, which means they're just going to adjust the power from 0 to 100% in order to get your Flexwatt at a constant temperature. It's not going to click on and off. It's always at some percentage of on and off. And essentially the Helix is great. It controls up to 250 watts of heat tape, which is quite a bit. I mean, that's probably, you divide 6 into 250. It's 6 watts per foot, and so that'll tell you exactly how many feet of this heat tape you can put into this Helix without it failing, without it blowing out. It's got a small little fuse in it that can be replaced. The Herpstat, I believe, goes up almost to 500, and so you can put about twice as much wattage on it. But when you're looking for a thermostat, I definitely suggest you go with something that is proportional and doesn't click on and off. It's really the best application, the best thermostat for this kind of thing, and you'll be real happy with it. So, hope this is helpful. I'm glad you guys asked the questions. I was glad I was able to come back and answer a few of these questions for you about Flexwatt. It's a great product, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Enjoy your projects. Thanks.